Yeah, as I've shown in some videos before, this is my Phoenix 82 sewing machine, which is a treadle machine, which means it's running with the foot pedal, belt, and is a purely mechanical machine without a motor. And this is what I've picked up yesterday, which is basically the same machine, which is a Phoenix 82. However, it has the lighting setup on the front, as well as, oh, I hope you can see that, as well as an electromotor. So, right now, come on, stay up here. Doesn't want to stay, never mind. Right now I've cleaned up on the inside of this table. There also is like the treadle and the flywheel for the belt. However, as you can now, terrible lighting, pardon me. This is the leather belt that would usually drive the flywheel on the sewing machine. However, there is. This is terrible to see. Can I? Oh. Ah, there shall be light. Yeah, there's a rubber belt attached to the add-on electromotor, which again has a cord going over to power the lamp with electricity. It's basically the same machine with all the same settings, the same functioning, but in a different version featuring the motor and yeah. Also, what I like about this machine, what I noticed is, on my machine these red spots are pretty blurred out, and I didn't notice them as much as here. Here the red paint is really shining, really glowing, basically. These are all the pots that you want to put your oil in. So here you can see there's no red paint on this one, so no oil meant to go in here, which is quite a neat design. Like even here, like on the spooling mechanism for the under yarn or under spool, the spool for the under yarn, however you call it, spool for the yarn that goes on the underside of your garment that you're sewing. Like even this tiny hole here has a little bit of red paint on, so you know exactly where to put your oil, which is really nice. The only thing so far that annoys me like a tiny bit is like this little bit of a rusty spot here, of a scratch. But now that I'm looking at it, maybe it's just dirt. We'll see whether I can polish this out or remove it with some mineral spirits and some kitchen wipes. We'll see. Oh, and another thing like this. Yeah, I just dry ran it without removing the yarn rest and everything. I have to refiddle the yarn through here. Anyways, what I wanted to show is, yeah, this is not how it's supposed to go. This goes here, that goes there. This goes here. Yeah, and there we have it. What I wanted to show is that basically this small thing here, like this oval thing, is different to my other machine. As you can see right here, this hook is different and there's no oval thing here, and it's all a little bit different. Very interesting. Okay, so this is my old sewing machine. And here's the big sister or big brother, the new sewing machine. I've tested it, the motor is running. It's roughly cleaned up with some general purpose soap, soapy water, you know. General purpose soap and water, like very light solution, just basically getting all the grime off of like the foot pedal and all the mechanical parts. Yeah, I basically just used the vacuum cleaner and got all of the like, come on, yeah, all of the rough grime and dust out, and then just wiped it all down with a sponge and some light soapy water. And now I will use some kitchen paper and just wipe everything down with some mineral spirits I've got here. Just, yeah, lots of mineral spirits, wiping like all the grime and stuff down, but being very careful to not remove like the stenciling and all the nice details on it, the artwork. But yeah, this is machine number 2. Like some small spots here and there that really could need some cleaning. Here's another one of these spots. But all in all, I mean, like the upper thread tension thing looks like in even better shape than this one. Now that I compared, it's way further screwed in than the one I have here. This is way lighter. Yeah, way tighter here. But yeah, I think it looks really neat with the lamp assembly here. Also, naturally, I've plugged the mains out for like maintenance and restoration, just in case I would accidentally step on there while scrubbing here. That would not be the smartest thing to do. So better safe than sorry. Cut your power before trying stuff like that. Yeah, really needs a good cleaning here and there. But I love these machines. They're really nice to use. Okay, let's see once it's done. Okay, so as I was scrubbing away, like all the base is clear now and here and there, and then I started scrubbing the zigzag setting thing. As I gently pushed on the lettering with the kitchen towel, it felt like it broke off, and I was like, oh no, I've broken it. And this is like old bakelite or some like very old plastic stuff. And I removed like these 2 slit screws, or yeah, typical screws. Yeah. In German it's Schlitzschraube, which is like, yeah, it's a slitted screw. Never mind. So I removed these 2 screws here that go in there. First of all, I removed that one, which is like, this goes here. This one is to, never mind, I'll explain later what does what, but basically this little arrow thing points onto this scale to show you what the zigzag distance is in millimeters, so it's 0 to 4 millimeters or 0 to 4.5 millimeters. When I pushed against this little dial thing, it broke off, but it wasn't like a screw or some pin that broke off. No, it's simply like very old glue. So I will just scrub this down with mineral spirits as well and give it a good scrubbing inside of this casing. And then I'll just use like a drop of super glue on the edges here and try to put it back in the way it was, which shouldn't be too complicated. But yeah, underneath it's just all that's there is like this little dial thing. And what these screws do is yeah, I'll show that later. Okay, so this is where we are now. I scraped the glue residue of the inside here off, and then took a look at this piece, which needs to be glued in like that. And I realized this looks like something is broken out. You see? Also, there's a hole, so I guess, wait a second. When I screwed everything out here, when I disassembled it, these 2 screws were in these holes, and this middle screw was here. There was no screw inside of here, and nothing fell out of it. I checked. So then I checked my other machine, and go figure, there actually is a screw in the middle that's attached to this scale. So I cleaned everything up here. As you can see, nice and shiny compared to this grimy little beast. But I don't mind. And yeah, now it's onto the super glue. Just tiniest drops of super glue onto the edges here. Just like a little bit, a few drops, maybe 4 drops in the corners here. And gently tapping it in there. I could like use some 2-component glue or composite glue and stick it in. I'm intentionally not doing that because I rather want it to break out again, having the glue break, then glue it in with such a glue that in case I did bump it with a screwdriver or something, instead of breaking this plate. Also with the cleaning, I wanted to say, it's like, well, basically it's the same thing as with art. If you have, in German it's called Patina. It's like, I guess it's the same in English, patina, which is like residue that forms with age. These things to me are like usable art or craftsman art. They are meant to be used. A machine that just sits there as a decoration object to me is boring. That's nothing I'm particularly interested in at all as a person, personally. A machine like this that's running, that's working, that can sew. A sewing machine that's meant for sewing, that's like 100 years old. These are like not even there yet. They are like I think 60 to 80 years old. These particular machines, but meant for sewing, still able to sew. To me is super neat, and to me is the state I want to have these in. And they are mine. I bought them quite cheap actually. Matter of fact, I got this one for free from a tailor lady, or the people who bought the tailor lady's house, and they didn't want the sewing machine, and they also didn't want to sell it, and were looking for someone who wanted to sew with it, and I gladly took it, got it for free to use it. And this is running super nice, and that's why I also got this one as well. And this one I bought, the former owner said it was basically his mother's darling, his mother's baby, like her hobby thing, her main hobby thing, her special sewing machine, like the good one. And I paid 35 euros for it after some negotiating because I bought it in a probably broken, not running, or not tested condition. And as far as I know right now, as of now, so far, everything I've tested has been working. It does, the zigzag works, the step selector works, or step size selector, stitching size selector, however you call it. Everything I've tested so far works. The electromotor works, the light even works. There's a light bulb in here. And I just like the design of this machine. But what I wanted to say is like, I do wipe these down with mineral spirits, and I like to get them as shiny as possible. But then again, for this machine, for example, I just barely scrubbed it over with like a little bit of soapy water. Just gave basically the wood and everything like a good rinse. Also here on this wood, there was like fake wood stickers. Like, let me think a second. Yeah, in German it's called Furnier, which is like a thin layer of wood that's glued on top of, or a thin layer of high quality wood, of beautiful wood, that's glued on top of a cheaper wood to make it look nice, but keep the material costs down. In this case, this was some vinyl Furnier, which is basically just a vinyl sticker with wood grain printed on top of it that was glued on here. Because as you can see on this wood, there's like some stains and some water damage, some water droplets all over the thing. And what I did was I used my grandma's old hairdryer actually and heated up all of the vinyl stickers and gently peeled them off. This took me like an hour or so, but I peeled all of the vinyl off and then gave it a good scrubbing with just some soapy water. As you can see now, it's not sticky at all. It's just treated wood or lacquered wood, as it once was, with basically some stains on it. And some, as you can see here, some broken out bits, but I don't care about it at all. And I really prefer the wood feeling of it and being original compared to that plasticky vinyl feel. which I really didn't like. But regarding the machine, I just wanted to sew, and I didn't take the time to basically scrub everything down. I also have yet not even oiled this machine, like even a tiny bit. Actually, I got this gifted by my mom, which is actually special, sewing machine oil. Actually, yeah, fine mechanics oil, also used for sewing machines, which is resin and acid free, used for stuff. Not going to translate everything. No, I'm too lazy. Sorry. But yeah, could have, would have, should have maybe wiped this down. But once again, to me, this also has its own charm because this looks used. This is not perfectly scrubbed, perfectly clean, but it does its job very well, and I like it the way it is. So why should I wipe it down? And that's just what I wanted to say. The same thing with art. If you have something that's like has a used look to it, sometimes for people collecting art, the used look is what they actually pay the money for. They don't care about the sewing machine. Like from an artist's point of view, people collecting them as art objects, they want the used look. They want this kind of grime. Because no matter what kind of paint you use or how much you try artificially creating this, you will not achieve this look. This look only, like this look on the zigzag selector in particular, this only gets created by time. Time is the artist here, and that's what makes it cool. Also these stains here on the front panel, which should be like completely reflective, completely polished like this. Oh, here, this looks neat. You can see the lamp inside, like from the underside. But yeah, it's a cool thing to have it like this. But for this machine, I just want like, I want it shiny because it's like I like this. I really like this Art Deco style of the lamp in front of this lamp assembly here, and yeah, it's in such nice condition with the red lacquer and everything. I just want it to pop. And this one, I can show this as well. Like the red parts here, they're like really grimy and even hard to see. It's like, yeah, it is not a super polished and cleaned up machine. But once again, this one I like for looking rugged. This one's in such neat condition. I really want to clean it up and have it pop to the eye. And right now I will glue this in and go on with the cleaning and then hopefully show it and oil it and have a final run before calling it a day. Okay, so this is the lamp assembly from the inside. That's basically stuck on top of the machine like this. And if you look up in here, there's like this screw. And loosening that screw, I could just pull the lamp up and lift it to the front, and it was removed. So I could clean that part. And below it, there's the same plate that's here, this metal plate. And after cleaning, it actually looks like this. Like so nice. Completely shiny. But nobody will ever see it because the lamp will go back in front of it. So yeah, just a little bit more of cleaning up everything and giving it like one drop of oil in all of the orifices, and then it should be good to go. Let's see. Also, a little hint if someone does the same thing. If you pull this out, you have to use like a little bit of force. Come on now. Now it doesn't want to go out. It doesn't want to come out. Yeah, like a little bit of brute force, and go figure, it's coming out. The thing I just figured is, if you just like only look at the screw and put it on, you see it's pretty loose here, and you have to like lift it up and really push on the bottom, give it some pressure, and then fill around a bit, and eventually, yeah, there we go, eventually it will. No, it didn't. Naturally it didn't. Come on, through the screw hole and then into the square hole, please. Yeah. Once again, it's not in there. Once again, it's not in there. It just doesn't want to go in. And now I push from the front. Now it's rock solid. Now it doesn't want to move anymore. Sliding it in from the top, it didn't work. But pushing from the bottom, now it weirdly enough worked. Yeah, looking for the gap or gap size, whatever it's called in English. Yeah, no. It really doesn't want to. Okay, here we are after the initial mineral spirits cleaning procedure. I shed a lot of kitchen tissue that I've used. A lot of grime that came out of there. But I mean, you can't always keep on polishing. But to me, I mean, this looks nice. This looks nice and shiny. But yeah, now it's time to go into every nook and cranny I can find that has this like red lacquer on, and add like a little drop of sewing machine oil to all these spots. And some of these are also down here, just in case someone wants to do the same. Okay, and here we are. Everything is cleaned up. All of the red spots got a little drop of oil, and the electricity is back on. So now turning this light off. She's like super dim little light. It's like really like maybe, I don't know, 20 watts or something. It's like super dark light, like compared to like my LED room light. This is like basically nothing. It looks way shinier on the camera than it is in real life, but I really like it. This is like so neat. I mean, just the looks of it. This thing looks like an Art Deco house from an old New York movie or something, from an old movie set. Like the front of this thing, the design's just so cool. I love it. I love it design-wise. But yeah, naturally, we also got the power for the pedal on, the motor on. So let's look what this looks like. Let's check out what this looks like. Returning. there's something burning. I don't know. Something just sounded really wrong. I'll be very careful with this. Oh, also, let me see if I can film this. You can see this. Let me see. Is it still sparking? I'm not quite sure. Let's turn the light off. Try again. Yeah. Yeah, as you can see, there's a lot of sparking going on inside of the electromotor. But I read that it's normal because it's actually a brush motor, unlike the modern brushless motors. Actually, the carbon brush that's brushing around on the coils inside of the motor is creating some sparks, like an old drill, like an old power drill. You'll notice maybe that it's making those pop sounds, and if you look into the cooling slits inside of it, you actually will see sparks flying around. Same was happening here. And first time I tried this out before cleaning, naturally I gave it a run and wanted to see whether it works or not. And it was like popping and sparking like crazy. And now, as I just heard these like super weird noises from the pedal, I hope that there's not some resistor like going crazy, because like old foil resistors, they can actually burn up and cause fires and stuff. So just in case somebody actually does the same thing I do and tries to get one of these really old machines to run, be nice to yourself and always remove the mains when you're not in the room or when you're leaving or going to bed or whatever. Just cut the power straight off. Pull the plug. I don't mean like turn it off. Like, don't even trust your your splitter or whatever that's called. Literally pull the plug out and put it on the side, and only leave the machine alone when you see the plug like hanging on the machine or something. Always be safe, better safe than sorry. Like, fun little story. I inherited some old reel-to-reel tape machines from my grandfather, and also an old amplifier and old speakers and everything. And everything was working great. Until like half an hour in or so, I started smelling some plasticky smell, like smoky plasticky smell. And I looked up and I had it all. I basically installed it in a neat rack on my wall and then tried everything out. And I looked up and there was like literal smoke coming out of that amplifier on the wall. And a few seconds later, it gave like a really bizarre, like bristling sound and a loud pop. And the speakers were dead. The amplifier actually like it smelled like burning, and I actually let it cool down and later opened the case up because it was like a Revox, like very expensive reel-to-reel amplifier or hi-fi amplifier from the reel-to-reel era. Actually, even a day later, when I opened the case up and looked inside, it still smelled burnt, and you could actually see the spaces on the circuit boards where the foil condensators, or I'm not sure if it was condensators or resistors, but those foil thingies, they literally burned because the way they work is like it's like some plastic foil, and there's some acid inside, and then it's sealed with lacquer. And those things, when they age, it's like analog electronics from the 60s to 70s. In the 80s, I think already they switched to a different kind of condensator. But those old ones, they actually could like, no, it's not plastic foil, it's paper. It's paper soaked in acid and stuff, and then lacquered. And that's why they could actually pop and burn. When they dried up, they would pop and burn and cause fires. And the new ones, the modern ones, those are the foil condensators. However, yeah, even a day later, you could see like the little fireplaces on the circuit boards, and the amplifier. Eventually, I think we even gave it to the recycling yard because nobody in the family was interested in actually getting it to run. Nowadays, I know you would have been able to simply pop out the circuit board. Then again, as I'm speaking about it right now, that thing could even still be on the attic in my stuff to keep corner. Oh yeah, stuff like that. I think I knew it back then that it was actually replaceable circuit boards. So basically the first modular hi-fi system. But yeah, that's Revox or Revox, another whole story. But what I wanted to say is old electronics can actually easily cause fires. So first of all, always be very careful when you handle them. Second of all, when you leave the room, always pull your plug out, hang it on the machine, then pack everything up or stow it away, stash it away, and then leave the room. And never leave the plug in, because you never know if or when one of those old electronic thingamajigs may catch fire and burn your whole house down. And we don't want that. Actually, that's the reason why I initially started to play around with these treadle sewing machines, because no motor means no electronic, means no reason for a house fire, which makes this one way nicer of a machine than this one. But this still looks way cooler and probably performs way more efficient. But yeah, little story on the side, just in case someone wanted to hear it. Thanks for watching. Have a nice day. And no, we still need to sew with this. We haven't sewn anything. I have this old like collar here from some old shirt that the actually, what is this? This is not some collar from some shirt. This is actually like a collar that you put inside of a shirt so it looks like the shirt had a collar if you're wearing a suit or something, like a very old thing. And the reason it was in the sewing machine is because like this part of the edge band is just ripped out and needed replacement. I'm actually not going to destroy this thing. I think maybe I'll even repair it someday and wash it and keep it just for shits and giggles. But yeah, I'll find something to try this machine out on. The under yarn is spooled with some gray yarn. That was the only little bit of actually sewing accessoire that was with the machine. In terms of yarn, actually, regarding the accessoires, I got this very neat little tiny box. I love metal boxes, especially when they have the like logo on, original design there. Inside of it we have like this foot plate in case you do not want to do the zigzag stitching or side stitch or whatever it's called, because like needle goes in this tiny hole here, and as you can see, this is like that plate is like this half round plate here, and as you can see for comparison, this one has like these 3 bar holes and like one little round hole in the middle. And on the one that's installed right now, there's like this sideways slit in the middle. And the reason for that is because if you enable the zigzag motion or function and you're actually sewing, you can see how the needle goes from left to right. And if you would use this function, having this plate installed, it would be no good, because you would instantly break off your needle. Come on. You would instantly break off your needle the second the needle tries to go down, and would, in this position, as you can see, it's on the side, it would actually hit like yeah, like this little metal piece right next to the hole, because the hole is just meant for straight stitching, which means putting this to 0. You see, let's do it on 0, and now you can see it's just going up and down, and this is actually what this base plate is for. However, like from my point of view, I have no idea why they ever released an accessoire like this for a machine that would be able to zigzag or side stitch or whatever you call it. Because, yeah, pulling this lever over would immediately break your needle, if not even stress your motor and stuff. It would just not be good for the machine. Just in case you have like both plates and don't know what they are for. See, this is me like pulling this lever. Immediately pulls the needle to the side and goes into the zigzag function. If you have both of those plates, always install the one with the slit in there and just put this in the spare spots. Just like it is here. And here we have like additional feet for the machine for different applications. This one, for example, is for these edge bands where you can like put an edge band in and it automatically flaps it over and then you can sew it. And on these feet, as you can see also, there's also just a hole. So if you would use the zigzag function with such a foot, you would also break your needle. So be very, very careful. And yeah, here you can see the foot that's in here. The zigzag function. There's a slit. Can also sew straight. However, if you would put this foot in there and use this function, you can easily see how it would smash on the metal and the needle would instantly break. And that's not good, so don't do it. But yeah, let me put in the thread now and let's play around a bit sewing some stuff. Okay, here we are. The thread is inserted into this machine and all filled through, like going through these 3 holes, around the tensioner, down here, up there, through there and into the needle, always going from front to back. And let's see how she goes. Okay. This is weird. Is it meant to be like this? I don't know. Something's fishy here, because this does not look like a zigzag motion. Let me play around a bit with this. Okay, we have the next day. Last night I stopped at 3 a.m. because I was going crazy, because no matter what I did, I mean, the first few stitches, which is like this gray seam that you see here, those stitches worked, and I don't know why. And then whatever I tried messing with the tension for the upper thread, yarn tension. No matter what I tried, nothing worked. The machine just didn't want to sew anymore. The motor worked, everything worked, needle went up and down, but there was simply no connection between lower thread and upper thread. And I just fiddled around, and luckily, on my other machine, I have the user manual. And I guessed that maybe the needle was like slipping down, so it wasn't sewing because of that. And I noticed the needle, there's, right now you can see there's, the round side is facing me. And here's like a pack of needles. I hope I can show that. There's a flat side on the needle. And the flat side was originally facing towards me. And I slightly put it a bit up, put it a bit down, retensioned the screw, and was fiddling around and wondering why it didn't work. And then I read in my manual that I luckily have, And I read the line that it says make the long groove of the needle face towards the sewer. And I wondered, I thought, wait a second, the long groove, as you can see here, along the needle, there's like this groove inside of the needle. And originally it was facing away from me, so I figured, let's maybe just do what the manual says and turn the needle around 180 degrees. I know the hole needs to face you, but I didn't really figure that there's actually a groove inside of the needle. I hope you can see it here. And this long groove has to face towards you. It wasn't. Now it is facing towards me. And as you can see here, and I sew now, oh yeah, that's stupid. The yarn needs to go behind this little lever on the side there. Yeah. Hopefully now it works. Let's see. No. It's messed up a bit. Let's help it with by hand a bit. Okay. Yeah, it's this, the modern nylon yarn is like messing around with the needle now. However, yeah. So here we are, basically about a week later or so, but I literally have done nothing on the sewing machine. I completely forgot to actually film the end of the video, so that's what I'm doing now. I had some alarm go off. Don't know if I'll cut that out or not, depending. Anyhow, yeah. You can see, I mean, I did this with one hand, so it's not the tidiest of seams here, but as you can see, the zigzag function is working now. We have different stitch widths or step sizes, which this is, I think, step size 3.5 or 4 I started with. Under yarn or under threads working well. This is like 1, yeah, right now I'm on 1 millimeter step size, which is also working great, as you can see. Like here it's like a little bit untidy at the very beginning here. It's like a little bit crooked, but that's because this this fabric that I'm trying to sew with, this is of some old synthetic shirt or something, which is like really flimsy material, like flimsy, very thin polyester type material, which is definitely not the perfect stuff to try a sewing machine out with. But it's working surprisingly well, and yeah, I think this is what I wanted to have, like a good finisher, a good end, a happy ending to the video. Thank you very much for watching. I hope maybe this was kind of interesting to watch, or maybe my blabbering on entertained you a little bit. made your day. I don't know. If you enjoyed it, leave a comment. Maybe if it was annoying you or something was annoying you, leave me a comment. Tell me what was annoying you, what I can do better, what you want to see, or whether you like the video as is. It would be really nice because I really have no clue what I want to do with my YouTube account, whether I want to put any more time into it or not. As of now, I'm just doing it for shits and giggles, and yeah, this will be the next video, but in between there's already something that I've done, and yeah, just to give this a nice end. Thank you very much for watching. Have a nice day and hope to see you soon. Okay, so as I've shown in some videos before, light soapy whopper.